How seasoned top trade lines work. It is a proven fact that seasoned top trade lines work. However, you need to really understand how the strategy works. This book is your crash course on using seasoned trade lines to increase credit scores and get approved for financing. You will know why seasoned trade lines are so incredibly effective in increasing credit scores and credit quality, and exactly how the process works so you are not chasing illusions promoted by scammers. You're going to learn how to identify and avoid many scammers in this industry, as well as how to select the best provider from whom to obtain seasoned trade lines. You'll learn how to select the right seasoned trade lines that will get you the best possible results based on your unique goals. How the process works. By now you have already realized that the best way to get that increase in your credit score fast is to buy seasoned top trade lines. Let me first share with you how to avoid common mistakes people make when buying seasoned trade lines. First, you want to avoid the scammers. The most important thing you need to know is how to identify and avoid scammers, because unfortunately, this industry is full of them. Protection key number 1: avoid primary trade lines. A good way to spot a scam is if someone mentions they can provide you with primary trade lines. There are several vendors claiming to have access to primary trade lines. You need to know that 100% of these are scams. Here is why I say that. True primary trade lines are actual accounts you access, you are responsible for, and have been paying on. Primary trade lines are simply an account owned by an individual who is considered the primary account holder. So, for example, if you have a credit card in your name, that is a primary trade line for you only. Primary trade lines exist in as far as an individual can have a credit account primarily in his or her name. But another person's trade line simply cannot be added to your credit report for a fee, legally or safely. If you buy a primary trade line, what you are really buying is a completely fake, made up, fraudulent account. You are essentially paying a scammer to falsely report an account to the credit bureau, which is blatant fraud. Eventually, these vendors and all their clients get caught. If you find one that has not been caught yet, rest assured they will eventually be flagged by the credit bureaus. It's just a matter of time. The worst part is, if you obtain financing with purchased primary trade lines on your credit report, you are committing loan fraud and could be in big trouble. So the way I understand it is primary trade lines turn into seasoned trade lines with age, and top seasoned trade lines are trade lines that have been paid on time over a period of time, and it's a long period of time. Not too sure how long, but primary trade line is a seasoned trade line. So primary trade lines can turn into seasoned trade lines as long as you pay on them, pay the payments on time, and do it for an extended period of time. That's what I get out of this. So to continue, it says, finally, 100% of the vendors who claim to sell primary trade lines are shady characters who ask for a cash payment up front. 9 out of 10 of them will just take your money and run and never deliver anything. Bottom line, you should stay away from primary trade lines. To be safe, only buy seasoned authorized user top trade lines instead. This type is 100% legal, and having them will improve your own primary trade lines for much better and more reliable results. Protection key number 2. Be careful how you pay. Never pay to an individual or any company via wire transfer, ACH draft, bank deposit, money transfer, PayPal, or to reloadable cards. Scammers absolutely love all these types of payment methods for one reason only, because they are non-recourse payment methods. This means once you send them your money, you are all out of options and you can never get it back from them. You cannot dispute, refund, or charge back such payments. The scammers will then disappear completely, or they might just string you out for several months until you finally give up asking for your recourse. The scammers will then disappear completely, or they might string you out of several months until you finally give up asking for your recourse. They may even wait until they rip off enough people so they can afford their next luxurious vacation with your compliments. Be smart. Always pay by credit card or e-check. Protection key number 3. Don't buy from unprofessional people. Never buy from any company whose website looks like a cheap template. If you look around, you might have noticed there seems to be a multitude of websites selling seasoned trade lines that look like they literally threw their website together overnight. You know which ones they are. They look cheap, they have misspelled words, bad grammar, and pie-in-the-sky claims about what they can do for you. Think about it. Would anyone ever remotely legitimately use a cheap template website from the 1990s? Does your bank? Does any reputable or reliable business dealing with finances? No, they don't. It's not about website design skills. It's about professionalism, legitimacy, and quality. Crappy websites means crappy service, and your personal information is not worth risking to a scam. If it looks unprofessional and or they don't take credit cards or e-checks, it is probably a scam and you are better off leaving them alone. Now you know how to avoid the scammers. The questions you need to know the answers to now are: how do you select the best provider of seasoned top trade lines? Who can you trust? Here are the most common and most important points to consider when doing your due diligence. These are questions to ask yourself when you are looking for a legitimate company to purchase seasoned trade lines from. Legitimacy question number 1. Do they accept credit cards or e-checks? Accepting credit cards or e-checks requires being approved by a merchant processing bank and passing all the necessary legal background and credit checks. A business that accepts credit cards and or e-checks present a low risk of scamming you out of your hard-earned money. No matter how trustworthy someone seems to pay by credit card or e-check for your own safety. Legitimacy question number 2. Does their website reflect the levels of professionalism you expect? An unprofessional website equals unprofessional products and services. This equals a higher risk of being scammed out of your money. It is not about web design skills. It is about professionalism, legitimacy, and quality. Ask yourself, if they cannot take the time to take care of their own website, how will they take care of your private information? And what kind of service will they provide? Low-budget websites are the calling card of scammers. Legitimacy question number 3. What is their refund policy? What guarantees are there? Do they have a 100% money back guarantee? A legitimate company must guarantee that the seasoned top trade lines will show up on time, They must also guarantee that if there is any issue with any of the trade lines, that they will provide replacement trade lines until the trade lines post correctly to the credit bureaus. Be sure to read their full refund policy and make sure you have an out if they so be sure to read their refund policy and make sure you have an out if they fail to deliver. Legitimacy number 4 question. Can they help you get financing? You probably want to get financing and you want to get it now. Can they do this for you? Do they offer reliable and cost-effective funding programs to achieve this? Legitimacy questions for reliability. Will they be there for you long after you buy your seasoned trade line? Do you really think they will be there for you? Do they seem customer service focused? Is there a telephone number and live chat? Do people answer it? What days? What hours? Is there a real physical office address? You want to use your best judgment on everything you analyze. Legitimacy questions for responsibility. Are they credentialed? Are they registered with the state and federal governments? Are they insured? Is their site secure and encrypted? What about surety bond that guarantees they will deliver as promised? Do they have one?